This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys, welcome aboard to our weekly video. It is Saturday, February 1st. I know we usually do our weekly videos on Sunday, but as you know, tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday. So I know for a fact no one's probably going to get on because they're going to be watching the game, which is totally normal, totally get it. You know, the markets are not your life. I understand that. So again, kind of just want to work with everybody to make life easier. This is going to be recorded. So again, you can watch this at any time. I send the link on Twitter. I send the link to the chat rooms. So if you miss anything, maybe there's something you forgot or there's a level you forgot, don't sweat it. I will have this recorded for you guys. It'll be a link. All right, so let's kind of go over what we had last week. Let's bring up our Twitter. And last week, 6 out of 7 trades, pretty profitable, excellent. I know Roku was the only one that didn't work out for us. Oh well, I wish we'd had 100% week, but that's just exactly what happens. GLD, we gapped up over the weekend, caught 78%. SPY was nice in the call. Square 45%, Netflix was beautiful, Apple was nice, and of course Microsoft, we played that earnings because we held it. Very nice gap up and we sold it right at the bell. So excellent work. If you want to recap 2020, it's on Instagram. On Twitter. Feel free to look at all the trades that we did, and we'll go from there. I think someone's asking about what's the phone number to get in. I don't know if they have that. I don't have that information, so he's just gonna have to wait, unfortunately. January 2020 trades. Let me see if I have that. Hold on. See if I have the phone number. Okay, so there's a phone number here. There is a phone number, guys. I'll give it next time for the link. If you guys want to jump on in the future, I'll make sure to add that. I just forgot to do it this time. My bad. Someone was asking in the chat. Anyways, back to the month. 2020, we started off great. 41 total trades, 35 profitable, 6 losing, 85% win-loss. Our goal target is 80% for the year, so we already started off great. Obviously, we want to keep the momentum moving, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, staying patient, sticking to our plan, making sure that our analysis is set. We're not rushing to trades. You know how we do, guys. Patience is key, and I'm very proud of all you guys that are doing great. I've got a lot of DMs and messages saying that you guys are making great money, and I'm very proud of all of you. Congratulations to all of you guys. February is a shorter month, but we're going to rock it and do great. So let's keep it moving. Maybe an 85% or better month next month. Obviously, best case scenario, 100% month. I would love that, of course, not have a losing trade, but we'll see what we get. Only thing we have open now is GLD 150s. We're about, 24 cents away from in the money. That's perfect. We should get a gap up as futures are down. Again, we don't have futures open yet. They open tomorrow at 6. You'll be watching the Super Bowl then. But again, very nice GLD with all this coronavirus scare going on. GLD is that safe haven. So gold tends to be that safe haven for everybody. As you know, the market fell on Friday, 603 points. We didn't play the market fall because we don't want to play same day earnings. Same day premiums and same day expiry. They could be very volatile. So unless you caught it to the downside, you can get burned really fast. We had a great week. There's no reason to chase things when we don't need to. Again, patience is the key. We had a great week. Why give anything back? We could have easily gone forward and just done for next week, but I liked where GLD was. I really like that play. We'll stick to that. If we get a continuation of the fall on Monday, guess what? We'll play some puts. We'll do it. We'll do whatever we got to do to make profit, guys. So that's the key. Let's go over. So that was the week that we had. Pretty solid. Let's go over the week that we're going to have upcoming on the economic front, economic reports. Monday at 10 a.m. will be the manufacturing, ISM manufacturing PMI. Purchasing manager index. Anything below 50 will be a contraction. Anything above 50 is an expansion. The forecast is 48.5, which is a contraction. Anything the forecast, the last one was 47.2. Well, let's see if we get an upside there, or if we miss, maybe we'll get continuation to the downside. Wednesday, private employment numbers, which is the ADP non-farm employment change. This tells you how many new jobs were created in the private sector, not including government. So that's at 8:15 in the morning. I really don't put a lot of weight into that report. ISM non-manufacturing PMI services, again, expansion over 50. Anything below 50 is a contraction. That's where we are right now. Forecast is 55.1. Previous was 55. Let's see what we get. Crude oil inventories, we get it every Wednesday. We'll see what we get there. Doesn't not a real market mover. The big market mover will be Friday, which is the non-farm payroll report, first Friday of every new month. And that's our average hourly earnings, employment report, and employment rate. Unemployment rate is 3.5%, which is great. Last month we had 145,000 new jobs added. The forecast will be for this month 160,000. Again, this is retroactive, so we're reporting on January's employment. So again, anything of a beat should be bullish. Anything less should be bearish, meaning downside. So that's where we got some pretty big reports coming. Another thing too, earnings. Earnings, we have a couple of names. Google is just too expensive. We don't play that. Or anything, we'll play Qs. Disney, Snap, those are probably two we'll take a look at. Qualcomm will be something. Will be something. Win. Anything else? They don't have really great earnings. Great response to earnings or good volume and options. Google is just very expensive, so we'll skip that. Disney. Let's go and take a look at Disney together. So I'm going to bring it up here where Amazon was, DIS, and you can see here on the hourly chart. Oh, I was zooming in. Sorry. So you can see just a downward move here. We are tapping resistance. See this gap here? I'm going to go and play the gap here. Anything above 139.52, I'll go ahead and play some calls. Anything below this level here, about 134.70, I'm going to play some puts. That gives us a little bit of a range. Again, if you miss these levels, feel free to watch this video whenever you want and place the levels the way you like. Next will be Snap. I'll play it right here under Apple. Snap sometimes has volume, sometimes it doesn't. We're hitting right at support. I'm going to play it right here in 1817. Play us the alert to the downside. And anything above this level, 1928, which would be nice above the 100-day moving average, well above it, that'll give us a nice bull alert to go to the upside. Next one here, I'm going to go and bring it up, would be Qualcomm. Any of these, Spotify, I mean, I really don't trade that because the options are not really there. Qualcomm does have some volume sometimes, so we'll play that. Look at Qualcomm together. And Qualcomm, you can see just a bearish move. Let's go and pull up the 4-hour. And you can see that we're kind of tapping support right around 84.63 on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, I can barely find a level. So I'm going to go and clear this alert here. Anything above the 100, I'm going to go and play the gap fill, just like we did on Disney, 89.50. And the gap fill is right around here. So again, it should retrace that if we bounce. If we don't, we're going to break below 85.04, which would be the recent low. We hit that peak here right around mid January, and we fell down about $12 from those highs. So that's the chip maker, Qualcomm. Next here, we should have Twitter and then Win. So Twitter, TWTR. And Twitter, again, just kind of muted price action, $2 up, $2 down, not a lot of movement. I'm going to play an alert right here at 31.96 the downside, which would be right above the last fib, the 60 fib. And then for this one, I'm going to play right above the 100, 33.23 to the upside. And we're set there. And that'll be my alert there, 33.24 to the upside. Next one or last one will be the Win hotel. And for me, it would be the gap fill, 133.82 to the upside. If we can fill that, then I would play upward calls. And if we break down below the last tap of the low side, 120.01, I'm going to put it right there for the downside for a move for some puts. And Win does have some volume. The reason all this fall here is all the coronavirus because of their operations in Macau. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that open. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Apple since we know that moves a lot. And let's go ahead and take a look at SPY, Qs, and what have you. So we know we've gotten some very bullish, bearish news because of the coronavirus. We've been playing that. So I'm going to play 321.64 to the downside. Again, it doesn't mean it triggers an order. It just gives us a way to look at things. So again, I'm going to place an alert 328.94 to the upside. I know it's a wide range, but again, we want to be sure not get any fake outs like these little fake outs here. We want to either continue the upside and play that momentum to 332, or we can play the downside here at 317 or below. And if we do break that level, guys, we have a lot of room to go down. We could probably play 319s, we have 315s. If we play the daily, you could see a lot of dry powder to 310. I mean, 310 would be support on the 100-day moving average. So again, that's a lot to play with there. So downside movement will be very much welcome because we have a lot of room to go down. Qs, I have an alert at 216.82. I'm going to go and keep it there. If we want to play the upside, I'm going to play the upside at 222.96. If we break that, then I'll go ahead and target 226 all-time highs. If we do recover, I don't see any reason why would we recover after we had strong earnings of Amazon and Apple. So right now, some bearish sentiment is arriving here. Put season, guys. And when it comes to puts, guys, be be understanding that it moves very quickly to the downside. It moves very slow to the upside. So once we get puts, it's gonna be very fast and furious. You gotta be ready, trigger finger, ready to go. So again, money is made a lot faster to the downside than the upside. Just keep that in mind. And there's one more stock I want to take a look at, which is an ETF, which is IWM. And we did break that 1 hour support. I'm gonna go bring up a daily, and it just looks very bearish. I'm gonna put an alert here at 159.27 on the daily. If we bring up a 4 hour, which will kind of give me a little more room on the chart to look at, and you can see we still broke support of the 161.8 fib, 160.77. If we bring up the hourly, you can see we are knocking on the door to the downside. So IWM would be a really nice put to play. If we bounce back, I want to play above the 100-day moving average at 163.69, and that'd be very nice. I know you guys want to take a look at Apple as well, so let's take a look at it. And Apple, we are hitting that support. We're actually kind of breaking it after hours. So let's see if we could break below 307.82. There's one level I'm very crucial to look at is 300 to actually buy some more shares. Apple, they played a great report, but again, it's low beta, meaning that it's moves very well with the market. So 300 is my level for Apple. If we could break that, that's where I'm going to buy some shares. I think I'd get a nice discount there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that alert as well on Apple. And you see the daily chart, you can see just absolutely on a tear. This is completely normal, guys. You know, you actually have to have some pullback once in a while. Can't be straight up forever. And that's where we are. So that's our levels for this week. And I'm ready for any of your questions, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to add on to ask on the chat, or just unmute your mic and ask away.
Hey, I was just looking at MU. It's come down and it's touched, I think it's the 20-day or maybe the 50. Do you expect
Which
it to
one,
bounce back
Dave?
up? EMU.
EMU? Oh,
Yeah.
Micron.
Just,
MU.
yeah, Micron. What do you think about it springing back up here in the next few days?
I don't know about springing back up. I think, remember, the semiconductors have a lot of business in China, so they're going to, because they make the semiconductors over there. So you can understand that MU is going to be, and the semiconductors are going to take a hit, and that'd be a good play for the put side. You know, Nvidia, MU, or AMD. AMD always has the volume. MU we played and done very well, and we're right here at the 261 moving average. So I'm going to put in, the fib. I'm going to put an alert at 52.70, which is only a couple cents away. If we break down on Monday, we're going to play some puts on MU for sure. And if we bounce back, which can totally happen, 56.34 to the upside would be my bet there. You could see be above the 100-day moving average, and we would recover. But I think we're going to have a little more pain to the downside, and I think it's going to be put season for a little bit, as long as more headlines come in from China and this coronavirus.
Yeah, right now it seems to be mimicking exactly what the Dow did.
Yeah, definitely. You can see that. It's definitely mimicking. But again, this is a great thing. This is a good thing, guys. We need this kind of normalcy where it just doesn't go straight up. You need to have this kind of down days. It's completely normal. You don't want this all-time greed. Every day moves up 400 points. It doesn't work that way. Markets are not rational that way. So, some down days, again, we make more money to the downside, guys. Just keep that in mind. So this is very exciting times. More headlines come in, we can play some more downside moves. MU, AMD, Nvidia, these big tech companies that have run up so high, we can short all those bad boys, and we'll do it right. And SPY and Qs too, also IWM, Apple, these boys, we can, and of course GLD to the upside. That's more of an inverse. When markets go down, GLD goes up. So that's always a nice thing. Good question though. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions out there? Okay, I got a chat here. Thoughts on AMD, Gian says. Boris, I already talked about Disney. Disney, I have some alerts placed at the top right of the screen. That's with the earnings report. So again, I'm an investor in Disney, so obviously I'll be watching it. But I have 135.52 to the 139.52 to the upside to fill that gap, and 134.70 to the downside to go back down. So a little bit of a wide range, but we can work with it. Also, Gian asked about AMD. So let's go look at AMD. Remember, they had the report and it just fell back down. try to get back up again, and it fell back down and trapped the bulls. 46.11 will be my downside, which would be the recent low on the 100 on the 1 hour chart. And if we break above this recent high of 49.14, I'll play some calls because it'll be above the 100-day moving average. But AMD, I'm thinking that we're gonna get a lot of pressure on the semiconductors the more this China thing comes out. You know, Apple closed down some stores, Hong Kong is closing some schools. We should be able to get a little bit of downward pressure. And this is our opportunity, guys. I hate to profit from bad news, but we're in business to make money. So that's all that matters. And I'm very excited to play it. So, all right, got another one question. Oh, you're welcome, Gian. Any other questions, guys? I know you guys are, it's a Saturday night. You guys want to do your thing. Just here to answer your questions. Yeah, if no one else has any questions, we can go ahead and end this call.
How long do you think you're gonna hold on to gold or GLD? Sorry.
GLD. To be honest with you, Sam, we're gonna see futures on Sunday. You know, obviously, I'll be watching the Super Bowl while with my phone. I'll keep you guys updated on the chat and the Twitter. See where like gold is on the future side. But to be honest with you, we may just close on Monday. Maybe leave a runner. If we get some more bad news, we can always get back in. But the idea is to lock in profits as soon as possible, because the longer you're in the market, it's more risk to you because of time decay. So I'd rather just get it out as soon as we can. I honestly think we'll be in the money on Monday. Monday morning we'll be in the money. I won't be surprised we're around 151. And that's about, if I had to guess, about 150% profit. We did this last week, right? They can't control the narrative over the weekend. You know, you can't just start coming out with market news over the weekend. So again, the futures traders and the algos are going to take over. You know, you think it's a coincidence that the Trump administration sends the people out right before the market close? Give me a break. Give me a break. They know what's up.
No, it looks great. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, man. James, for Facebook. Okay, yeah, Facebook again looks ugly here. On the 1 hour, I don't even have any kind of support on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, I have a little bit more of a view, and 199.45 would be my support for the 4 hour. But we broke through on the 1, so it gives me a little bit of room. We need to get back above 210.76 for order to play any calls. So I don't understand why Facebook went down. You know, we all know it's a big part of the S&P. The S&P went down, so Facebook go down with it. I thought they had a great quarter, but again, it doesn't matter what I think. Price dictates all. So if you want to invest in Facebook, I think it's a great time because it's a cash company, no debt. They have great margins. I mean, if Tesla had these numbers, they'd be soaring. But Facebook just has the headline risk. Everyone hates that company for some insane reason. So remember, there was a time that people hated Tesla too. Microsoft, AK ask. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Again, we know Microsoft fell because of the market. We tapped all-time highs for them, and it fell about $7. Let's go and take a look at the hourly. Sometimes Microsoft doesn't have volume, but we'll take some alerts here. I'm already looking that we're going to go down anyways. So 168.01 to the downside, 173.40 to the upside would be my call there. But I think we're going to get a little more pain this week, guys. I hate to be long on any options this week, that's for sure, unless you're in gold. LRCX, I don't know what that is, but I'll take a look at it. LRCX, Lam Research, they never have options, by the way. Again, we just have to play the chart here. I'll play the low here, 292.79, and just go from there. I mean, if we want to play the upside, I'll play 316.24. I don't even know if they have options. I've never traded that name ever before. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Roku. I don't know why everyone wants to talk about Roku. I don't know why. But Roku is falling. We were right on our analysis. We just ran out of time. Nothing new. Again, descending wedge, going down. I'm almost tempted to never want to trade this name again. But the chart doesn't lie. You could see this downward triangle. We were right. I said that we would break down, and we did. We just ran out of time, guys. So if we look at the daily, 118.37 is very much support on that 200-day moving average. That should be a nice point of no return if it breaks. But until that level breaks, I'm not touching it. But again, it's very bearish on this chart. I just hate to signal that to you guys. Obviously, we know why. But we were right, Boris. We were right on the analysis. We were right. It's just we ran out of time. So again, on options, it's not enough to just be right. You have to make sure you can have your analysis right, but you could be wrong very quickly. So especially with options, timing is the key, guys. Timing's, I showed the chart to you guys. I showed you guys the chart on Roku and I said we're going to get a downward trend. We just bumped up. So we tested, retested, tested, and fell. Nothing you could do there. Google, we're not going to play, Diego, just too damn expensive. So, I mean, if you want to take a look at the chart, it's just too expensive to play on options. I would play the alert right here in this gap, right at 1462 for the upside, and then downside 1419. The best bet here, if you wanted to play this, would be QQQ, and I already placed the alerts on the top left. But again, we don't play it because it's just too damn expensive, guys. Any other questions today?
Would there actually be a chance that we might roll into the next week with gold?
Is there any chance of what now?
Is there an opportunity that we might buy an additional amount of time on the options?
Yeah, no. Honestly, if we get some more downside, I would not be surprised if we jump into another GLD trade. That's not against anything. We could definitely do that. Obviously, we want to take our 150s first, right? And then we could probably jump into 151s, 52s, depending on the volume. But I'm pretty sure our 150s are going to be, you're going to wake up on Monday very happy. That I can tell you. I don't like guaranteeing anything, but pretty much guaranteeing that we're going to have a great day.
Yeah, the futures look good Friday afternoon after it closed.
Yeah,
it jumped up good.
Remember, we had a nice little bounce, sure, on futures. But keep in mind, China's market has not been open. They're opening on Monday, first thing in the evening. So Sunday evening, they open, and they've been closed now for a week because of their new year, Lunar New Year. So all those people that are shorting are going to pile into the CS, the Chinese market, and start selling off. And that's going to boost gold because those Chinese investors are going to buy gold. That's going to help us. Hope that makes sense. Any other questions, guys? You think it's the start of a bear market? No, I don't think it's the start of a bear market. I think it's a slight correction. I would say we have a little more downside, to be honest with you. But a bear market would indicate 20% off the highs. We're not there yet. We're not even close. I mean, we're basically 0.25% in the red for the year for the Dow. You need 20% from the highs. Keep that in mind. We're nowhere near that. A correction is 10% to the downside, which is lovely to us traders. We want volatility, but bear market is 20%, and we're not there yet. We're not even close. So again, this is a slight sneeze from what people are used to. You saw how greedy the people were in the greed index. Now we're back to it. So no, I don't believe we're a start of a bear market. I think that it's just one of those scares because of the disease and the virus, and that's it. And we're gonna make most of our opportunities, guys. You know, again, I hate to profit from this misery, but we have a business, we have a job to do, which is make our money. Thoughts on the Brexit news? Anything Britain does not affect us. So unless you're a Forex trader, it doesn't matter to us options traders. Alex. Any other questions out there?
Hey, Carlos, do you care to take a look at the square chart?
Yeah, let's take a look at square together. Sure. Yeah, SQ, you got it.
Thank you, buddy.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, you got it, man. All right, so square, you can see we tapped that high, 77.07, and then came back down a little bit. So let's go and take a look at that hourly chart. And I would say right around 74.20, I would take a look at it to the downside. I'm pretty bearish this week, to be honest with you. So I would like to target 72. You can see right below the 100. But again, we need the volume. If we get the volume on those charts, yeah, we could play it. But you know, I don't want to open 9 trades just because. We're gonna do step by step. We'll see what we get. But again, I have a bearish inclination this week. I'm thinking that we're gonna have a lot of puts this week. So that's always a nice thing, guys. So get your bear hats ready. We're gonna rock some puts this week, unless we get a massive bounce, which would be nice too, because we could ride our way up. Diego asked, what's the volume number you look for? I look for 1,000 at least, 1,000 on individual names. On SPY and Qs, I look for something that stands out: 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 25,000. And that stands out amongst the crowd, because SPY and Qs are always traded high. But on individual names, at least 1,000. On Apple, which is the highest traded, should be around 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 sometimes. Hope that helps. How do we get a recording of this? I'm gonna get that out to you, Dan. No problem. Once I end this, I'm gonna get that recording linked out to you guys. Any other questions today? All right, I guess we'll end it there. Enjoy, guys, your Super Bowl Sunday. I got the 49ers winning. A couple of bets with my friends. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you guys bright and early Monday morning. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And we'll catch you guys hopefully for some Monday morning bags. Let's rock it. Have a great weekend, guys. You're welcome, Boris. Thank you, man.